Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you guys can tell me how well you're hearing me, that would be a great thing. Of course, we're in Mercury retrograde, so there's a little bit of microphone confusion going on. So I don't even know. Let's see. It's been a long time since I've gone live in the evening. We'll see who even shows up. It looks like the microphone's picking up something. I don't know if that's my voice or just the cards. I guess we'll find out soon. I have half a mind to turn this off and test it before anybody gets in here, but let's see. Does my voice show up? Yes, quietly maybe, but it's there. All right, so tonight I'm going to pull one card for each sign. Whoever's that in the room, can you tell me if you can hear me well or not? In fact, let me type that message in the chat. Can you hear me okay? That is the first question. Glad to see you live. Okay, excellent, because I don't have my normal microphone and, Mercury retrograde is striking. Thank you for the thumbs up. So we're going to do something kind of like what I used to do before, which is I'm going to pull one card for each sign, and then whoever's in the room at the end of that, I may do some private readings for some people, depending on how many people are in the room, maybe all people. We'll see what happens. Glad to see you again here catching me live, though. That's a good thing. I know you've been bumming because you missed the last two. It's always nice to have a regular in here. All right, we're going to start with Aries. And these are for what date? Today is already the 3rd, so this is going to be for August 4th. All right, so Aries, 6 of Batons coming up in reverse. Aries, this just means that you're doing some things that are going to be sort of behind the scenes. This is not something you're going to get any kind of kudos or appreciation for. You're just doing some behind the scenes type of work. Now, Taurus. Thank you, Gracie. I appreciate that. Taurus, you guys have the 2 of Coins. This just tells me that you've got a busy day going on in front of you. A lot of things are going to be happening. You're going to be juggling that quite gracefully from the perspective of other people on the outside, although it may feel very hectic to you. Geminis. Ooh, nice card, Geminis. You'll have the Sun showing up in reverse. The Sun in reverse just means that you're doing something together along with someone else that you both are enjoying and happy to be doing, with nobody breathing down your neck, setting deadlines, or telling you how to do whatever this is you're doing. Very nice. Let's look at Cancer. Cancers, you guys have the 4 of Wands showing up in reverse. This just means that you're going to be spending some time on the 4th away from home. Away from home. Leo. 5 of Pentacles in reverse. This tells me, Leos, that you are creating some kind of breathing room in your budget. You may be paying something off, or you may be getting some kind of bonus or extra income, but you're getting some breathing room in your budget. And you may also, what is that on my chin? That's terrible. Anyway, you also may find that you are feeling more included in social situations on the 4th as well. More included than you have been lately. Now, looking at Virgo. Virgos, you guys have these 6 of Swords showing up here. That's not really focusing very well, is it? What is going on with that? The other card's focused. Maybe I had it too close. Anyway, 6 of Swords, Virgos. This just means that you are moving from something that's chaotic and interruptive. I can't think of the word I really want, but it kind of causes interruption and causes distraction, and you're moving away from that kind of chaos into something that feels much more calm and peaceful. All right, so that's Virgos. Next up, we're looking at Libra. Libras, you guys have the Two of Cups in reverse. Taurus had the Two of Pentacles in reverse. Two of Cups in reverse just means you have a situation where there was something that you were really happy about, drawn into, fascinated by. And now with this card coming up in reverse, it says, now you're kind of, it's like the glitter has worn off of a new present at Christmas time or something. Now it's no longer so fascinating. And in fact, you're not even sure if you have time for it anymore. That's for Libras. Marquita. Glad you are here today. You've got a lot of tags going on there, girlfriend. It's been a long time since I've seen you in my room, if you're the same Marquita I'm thinking of. All right, so that was Virgo. Then we did Libra. Now we're doing Scorpio. Okay, for me and my fellow Scorpios, we have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Do you know what that means, y'all? That means we are taking a break. We are not accomplishing any work on the 4th. So whatever work we have planned, we may want to set up a rain check on that. Interesting. That tells me I need to plan a trip to the mountains to go hiking. Let's see about Sagittarius. You guys have the Four of Coins showing up here. This just tells me that you are holding back on something. You may be holding back on money and not spending it, or you could be holding back on sharing how you feel about certain things, but there's something here that you're holding back on today, Sagittarius. If we were doing an actual personal reading, we would find out a little bit more about that. But since we're just doing a little quickie here, we're not going to worry too much about it. Now, Capricorn, look at y'all. Y'all got a powerful card. You got the 13. By the way, I consider the 13 a lucky number. And this is a card that just basically says that you are making some major transformations. With that scythe there, you may be making those transformations very suddenly. You may be getting rid of some things that no longer belong in your life to make room for things that are much more satisfying and happiness making. All right, Capricorn. Temperance. Capricorns, you are bringing some balance into your life. So you may have been working. You're finding a way to balance that out. So you have some family time, you have some you time, not spending all your time working. Let's see. That was who? That was Capricorn. This was Aquarius bringing that balance in. I got lost on my signs. That's your mom's favorite. In the Native American, it's a really good number for women. So the Native American tradition talks about grandfathers and grandmothers. There's 8 grandfathers and there's 13 grandmothers as far as ancient ones that are wisdom keepers, basically. And I'm kind of giving you the Amista paraphrase, not so much Native American lingo on that. Okay, so Aquarius, it's you guys that are finding balance. I apologize. Capricorns are bringing in some heavy-duty change. Aquarians are finding balance. Pisces, you guys have the Cavalier de Cups, Knight of Cups. Very appropriate for a Pisces card. This basically says, though, that somebody is letting you know how important you are to them or how much they care about you. And this can be anything from, a preschooler draws you a picture all the way up to maybe you get an engagement ring from your fiance or from your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever. So that's what we have for tomorrow. Is there anybody in the room that would like to have a little bit of a personal reading online tonight? If so, just say so. So far, we've only had 2 people comment. YouTube is saying there's 1 person in the room. So if that 1 person wants a reading, say so. I love your hashtag LOL. Holy wow, that's an amazing story. Oof. Was that around the time of World War II? That just seems like that completely diabolically opposes any Native American beliefs. This German soldier had to be like not very happy to be a German soldier, I bet you. That's a story I like to sink my brain into. Can you imagine actually living out that story? All right. Message from Spirit for Gracie. What do we have? Thank you for the thumbs up, by the way, and all the messaging. Boop-a-da-doo-doo, boop-a-da-doo, boop-a-da-doo-doo, boop-a-da-doo. Okay, first two cards are going to be telling me about the thing Sacred Spirit wants to talk to you about. My next three cards are going to be your best advice for heads up, Gracie. Okay, so your first two cards, my friend, are both Cups cards. We've got the Six of Cups in reverse, and we have the Three of Cups in reverse. So 6 to a 3. Oh, wow. Okay, that makes a little more sense to me. Why she would fall in love with him then. We're just in here gossiping about love stories. We can talk about whatever we want in my room, can't we? All right. This is hilarious. Okay, so your Six of Cups in reverse. This talks about children who may not be so well behaved or who you kind of have some bad memories with. They say they may not be so well behaved, or you might have some not so hot memories with them because they're covered by the Three of Cups in reverse. Three of Cups in reverse is talking to me about, usually it's friends getting on your nerves, but in this case with that Six of Cups in reverse, this tells me you've got some children that are getting on your nerves. These may be your children, which are grown children, or these may be like grandchildren or little children around. But this basically says you have children that are getting on your nerves, or maybe have gotten on your nerves. I'd like to say on this card, somebody's jumping up and down on your last nerve. So it would probably, this would be something it would be noticeable. It wouldn't just be just a little bit. Now, that's our situation. And I don't know exact context, so you'll have to put it into context in your life. And by the way, this could be past, present, or future. You'll recognize where it is before I will. Best advice or heads up around this situation shows up as being, first of all, the Knight of Coins. My Knight of Coins basically says, don't put any energy or effort into this situation where somebody's jumping up and down on your last nerve. Don't put any energy or effort into that. That's your first bit of advice there. Ace of Cups, let them show their true colors. Just observe. Don't put any energy into this. Basically says, don't try to change what they're doing. Let them show you their true colors. Don't try to influence this. Let them put their true feet forward, whatever they are. And then that allows you to play the part of the King of Swords. That allows you to make some decisions and some plans and some strategies based on the reality that you've seen right in front of your face, because you didn't try to steer that reality or guide it. You let somebody show you their true colors. So now you can make more solid decisions whenever it comes to how you want to interact with those people, how often you want to interact, how deeply you want to interact, all that good stuff. King of Swords is somebody who makes a strategy and follows through with it, and he makes it very logically, not based on feelings. So this really says you've got somebody, probably children, getting on your last nerve right here. Don't try to stop them. Don't be like, just don't even try to stop them. Let them show their true colors and then make a clear decision based on their true colors. They've shown you the real deal. What are you saying? Your 31-year-old nephew Oh, no. Wow. Well, this is interesting with being the King of Swords because Swords talks about thoughts or words, also strategies. So I wonder if that King of Swords isn't you saying something to other people to create some kind of plan or strategy about how to handle the situation. Thank you. It looks different without the headset. I think I went online too late. Not too many people still awake right now, except over in Europe. I used to have a lady that watched me from Spain a long time ago. When I was doing this on the other channel, she would catch me late at night. I had a couple that were over there. I had one in the Netherlands too. So what's going on with that kitchen of yours? I think that's, knowing helps so much because then you can really figure out how you want to interact with somebody. You got a hot plate, that's it. Well, at least you can cook for yourself on a hot plate. Hello, whoever walked in here. We are doing random tarot readings. They walked out before I finished that. I've got a hot plate here, but I have never made food for, to sell to people. So it's fine to have a hot plate just for me. But it's a whole different situation for you. Aw, how sweet is that? Do you have a regular oven? Right? I don't have a regular oven, but the lady who lives upstairs from me in this house is out of town for the weekend. I so thought about getting chicken wings and cooking up a big old. I like to bake my chicken wings at 400 for an hour and then put some sauce on them. They're nice and crispy like that. Some people think they're overdone, but I like them like that. And I almost did it, and I thought, I'm not going to have time to do that because I had to teach a class today. Whoever just walked in, if you want a little tarot reading, just say so in the chat, and I'll be happy to read for you. We're just chatting and doing little tarot readings tonight. Oh, gotcha. So you can go raid your sister's oven and be like, I'm borrowing your oven. What should we look at, Graham? Exactly. They're so yummy like that. All right, should we go political? Should we look at who's going to win our presidential race this time around? Savannah, hello. Would you like a reading tonight, honey bunny? You want to see. We might look at that after Savannah. All right, Savannah. Do you have a question for me, honey, or do you want me to just see what Spirit wants to talk to you about? If you've got a question, just put it in the chat. If you just want to see what Spirit wants to talk to you about, then just put message from Spirit or Spirit in the chat and I'll know. I'll know what you mean. Spirit, what's Spirit got to say? Spirit, what do you have to say to Savannah today? Savannah, where are you from? You're quite welcome. I want to say you're from the South, but that's just because of Savannah, Georgia. You're from Canada. Well, that's absolutely the other direction. Savannah from Canada. All right. Glad you're here today. Guys, I have a newsletter where I do predictions for every single sign every week. Comes out on Sundays. If you want to sign up for that, you just go to my website, which is my first name .info. So amista.info. Hit the newsletters tab and sign up there. I also tell you about any sales I've got going on or any classes I'm teaching, all kinds of good stuff. Mostly I'm teaching in person right now. Come this winter, I'm going to be doing a lot of online courses. You're rooting for Trump? Oh, I'm not going to say who I'm rooting for. I want to tell you a secret. I did pull cards already once. I'm curious to see if these cards come up the same way when I pull them again. Bum, ba, bum. But I'm not going to get sucked into a political free-for-all as far as my own personal opinion. Things are very polarized here in the U.S. about it. Okay, so let's look at what you have, Miss Savannah. You have the Queen of Cups showing up in reverse, covered by the Knight of Swords. So, Savannah, I didn't tell you, but this is your situation. These two cards are the situation Spirit wants to talk to you about. These can be past, present, or future. I don't select the topic, nor do I select the time frame. So you'll have to put them into the context of what's going on in your life, and you'll have to recognize where they are in time because I won't know. All right? So. Oh, excellent. Thank you for the subscribe. I appreciate that. Tip on brownies. If using boxed brownies instead of water, use good quality vanilla. You use as much vanilla as you use water? That seems like a lot of vanilla. Just saying. Or you put a little vanilla in your water. Okay, so Miss Savannah, with this Queen of Cups coming up in reverse and this Knight of Swords, Queen of Cups in reverse basically says, I think that you've had some kind of what I call a volcanic emotional explosion. When my Queen of Cups comes up in reverse like that, that's talking about somebody who has just dealt with something and tried to pretend everything was okay for so long. That finally somebody puts the last straw on the camel's back and you can't pretend it's okay anymore. And now you're not reacting to just that straw on the camel's back. You're reacting to that straw and all the 15,000 that came before it. And so that reaction is huge. It takes the other person by surprise because you haven't even let them know that you're just trying to pretend like everything's okay. They don't even know they're causing an issue. And so this can be very surprising for them. So when you had this huge volcanic explosion with this Cavalier of Swords coming up or your Knight of Swords coming up, this is telling me that it was not something where you were like throwing plates across the room or something. This was all verbal. So whatever you said, you slashed somebody up with your words. And with this Knight coming up right side up rather than reverse, this says what you were telling this person as you had this volcanic emotional explosion actually was all truth. It wasn't like you were exaggerating anything. You weren't, making anything up. But as you were having this volcanic emotional explosion, slicing and dicing, baby, but all with truth. All right. So that's the situation that we have coming up here. Yes, it is. You use that much vanilla. Okay. All right. Now, and I agree, the best vanilla does come from Mexico because we dilute it a lot here. All right. Now, best advice or heads up, Miss Savannah. You're quite welcome. So, oh, by the way, also, when did this happen, Savannah? Did this happen today or very recently? Because I'm going to tell you this morning, I put out a post on Facebook and said, I'm feeling more aggressive than usual. Is this just me or everybody else? Maybe I should check astrology. And then I checked astrology and I found all of these things lining up for a really aggressive expression of thoughts and feelings today. Recently, yeah. So we would have been coming into all of these combinations. We would have been building into them. So recently makes sense. One of my clients had a big explosion a couple of days ago. Excuse me. Now, best advice or heads up. We have that Six of Cups. Now, Grace, you just saw the Six of Cups, but it was reversed for you. So, Savannah, Six of Cups coming up right side up. This talks about memories from the past that are nice memories, possibly even time with children. But to me, it feels more like memories from the past for you. Positive memories from the past. Now, we also have the Justice card. The Justice card makes something official, makes something legal. Sometimes it's even separating from something. Okay. And we have the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups talks about having a lot of options, a lot of things that we can do to improve our lives. So here's the deal. You've sliced and diced somebody up with your words because you've just had enough. You got fed up to here. All right. Now, the thing is, I think that you do have some good memories with this person that you sliced and diced. The thing is, when you sliced and diced them, that Justice card came in, I think that you basically said, you know what, I don't want to talk to you. Maybe you said, don't want to talk to you for a while, but with this card, more likely, you said, you know what, I don't want to be affiliated with you. And not just for a while. This isn't just like taking a break. And now you've got plenty of options about things that you can do to make your life better. It kind of comes up like the options are unlimited here. So I'm going to say whatever this was that happened that pushed you over the edge, it looks to me like, because you're telling the truth here and the way this came out, I think, yes, there are good memories still with this person. Not bad to milk those good memories to manifest something new, but still, you want to make this an official, you know what, I am not dealing with this baloney anymore. Even if you are dealing with this person, but not dealing with whatever this is that you were trying to pretend was okay when it wasn't, at the very least, you're going to be getting that out of your life officially. And with the Seven of Cups, this says, what am I going to fill that space with that I'm emptying, where I'm getting rid of that thing that was just driving me crazy and I couldn't take it anymore. And there's a lot of options there that you could do. So it's kind of, I think now you're at the point of figuring out, okay, what am I going to fill that space with now that I'm going to enjoy rather than that's going to drive me cray. Oh, geez. Yeah. In that case, then that Justice card is probably, I'm just really not interacting with you anymore, but now I have a whole lot more time on my hands. Maybe I'll go ride a motorcycle. Maybe I'll go hiking. Maybe I'll develop my hobby of cooking. All right. Anybody else in the room that would like to have a reading, go ahead and put a comment in here and let me know you're here. I figured you would sooner or later. Anybody else wants a reading, go ahead and put a comment in the chat. Thank you for that thumbs up. There's a mysterious extra thumbs up that just showed up. I appreciate those all the time. This is our late night tarot. Hopefully my voice will help people sleep too. I've been told I have a calming voice. I don't know if that's true or not. It's hard to tell about your own voice. Oh, we were going to look at political stuff if we weren't reading for a person, weren't we? All right, so let's take a peek. I'm going to ask if Trump is going to win the election for president off the top of this deck. If Harris is going to win the election for president off the bottom of this deck. And let's see what shows up. It is just past 11 where I am. I'm in Mountain Time. I'm just outside of Denver. Okay, so Trump off the top. Whoa, we got some cards there. And Harris off the bottom. Oh yeah, we've got some interesting stuff going on here. So I'm going to tell you, if I'm reading this like short form, Trump's would be a tie, whether he wins or not. So that generally, when I get a tie, I take that as a no, but Spirit wants to talk about more details with that. And with Harris, I get a solid no. So basically on my table, I've got 2 no's. I was wondering if it was going to come up like that because it came up like this for me last time. So we're going to dig into this a little bit more. But first, we're going to talk about some of these details. So Trump, we have the Pope. Now, I don't see the Catholic Church as a cult, but I do think that this is talking about Trump just because we have people saying, oh, he's a cult leader and this is a cult and all of that. So I could easily see him having this, this spiritual authority figure, and definitely the evangelical Christians have sort of gotten into his boat. So this makes sense for me to be a representation of Trump and sort of his place as figurehead with the GOP right now. Okay. Oh, I do think it's going to be kind of chaotic. Now, we have the Page of Coins showing up, which basically means that he's got money coming in for the campaign. I think that he's, we hear about how much Kamala is making, but also Trump has money coming in for his campaign as well. Now that is followed. This is a really interesting card. That's followed by the Devil, which talks about something that is toxic or some kind of toxicity. The way that I'm reading this is that with the Page, that's always news about something. So it's news about money that may end up being toxified some way. Whether this news itself is toxic, what we hear is toxic, or whether there's a spin that's put on it that's toxic. There's something toxic coming out about news about money for his campaign. And here's a nice card to see with all the craziness that's been going on. With that, the truth comes out. For me, the Moon in reverse always talks about the truth coming out. The truth was really always there, but maybe we didn't have exactly access to it. And so this says the truth comes out, which tells me that this toxicity is not actually spin. This tells me that this news about the money that comes up about our so-called cult leader, Trump, news about the money is toxic. It's not the kind of news that we like to hear about because it's the truth coming out and it's been below the surface. And with that Devil card, this is not cool. This is not good news about money, even though the Page is good news about money. So this is about money that he has received. But when this news comes out about how he received it or where he received it from, there may be some real issues there that the truth comes out about that. Now, this has to do with, I don't know exactly who, but we've got a Queen of Cups coming up here. So more than likely, this is going to be a female. And this is going to be somebody who likes to nurture, to uplift. So I don't know if this is somebody who is, really big in the evangelical space, if this is somebody that's in a foreign country space. But the truth is going to come out about some kind of news about money that's toxic, that is tied in with somebody that we would consider to have Queen of Cups personality traits. So Queen of Cups personality traits they would be somebody who is more intuitive. They're probably a female, although that's not guaranteed. And there's somebody who likes to nurture and to support and to lift up, especially when it comes to mentally and emotionally. All right. So I don't think that he's winning. And I think part of the reason he's not winning is because there's still some news that's going to come out that's going to make a difference in some voters' minds. Now, when I look at Kamala, they always call her Kamala. I always want to call her Kamala, like Pamela with a K. But Kamala, we have the Nine of Pentacles. And this shows somebody being very independent, self-sufficient. Well, she's kind of proving that she has to be, because here she is, the vice president. Joe Biden is sick. She's having to be the president while she runs her campaign. So that would kind of make sense for her. There is a lot of swords when we look at her spread. We have the King of Swords coming up in reverse. Now, my King of Swords in reverse is my adult fit thrower. This is somebody who acts like a 4-year-old, but they're in a grown-up body. And sometimes they throw fits usually they almost always throw fits for irrational reasons. I think this is kind of Trump's reaction to her is what I have, because from everything that I've heard, her husband's very supportive of her doing this. So I don't see this as being her husband. Now, with the Seven of Swords, she has a strategy. But, well, let's see. Page of Cups, she may be passing it. Like Joe Biden passed the nomination to her, she may end up passing this nomination to somebody else, because this card normally talks about letting somebody else know how important you are to them, or letting somebody else know how important they are to you, I should say, or letting them know how much you love them. She may end up deciding to pass this along to somebody else. And the astrologers I've been watching say that she's not somebody that really enjoys having all the attention. She likes doing the things behind the scenes. Like vice president was perfect for her because she liked doing the work behind the scenes. She doesn't really enjoy being under the microscope. All right. And with this Four of Swords, we see her taking a break. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you about taking a break. When was that? In 2020, when I looked at elections between Trump and Biden, Trump ended up with this taking a break card as his last card. And so I didn't know what that meant then, but now that I've seen that and had experience with it, I think that Kamala is going to come back and run again in the future. I don't know if she'll be successful in the future. I think she'll run again in the future. But I also think that she voluntarily gives this nomination to somebody else, or maybe even at the convention, they choose somebody else. That convention, the Democratic convention, is happening smack dab during a Mercury retrograde with all kinds of craziness going on in the skies. So whoever they pick at that convention, they're going to have second thoughts about. They're going to want to redo that. So I don't know that they're going to pick Kamala. And if they do, then, like I said, she may pass it along to somebody else. That's what it looks like to me. Now, let's look and see if somebody besides Kamala, who's in the Democratic Party, actually ends up winning the election and becoming the president of the United States in 2025. Now that's interesting. Is there going to be somebody from the Republican, so-called Republican Party who wins. That is not Trump, because we already saw, I don't think Trump's winning. The first time that I looked at this, I did see somebody winning this that was a Democrat, but not Kamala. And I looked at that right after Biden passed her the nomination. This, I don't think we've got somebody from the GOP winning. In fact, I've got them kind of going back where they came from. But I do think what I'm looking at is I'm looking at a Democrat winning who is not Kamala. We're going to have debates over, was the election really legit? That's going to be a big thing that happens in the country with that Two of Swords coming up. With the Three of Swords, I think we may have another assassination attempt at least. But I'm going to say I'm expecting some violence even with this debate. Even with this debate, I think people are going to be unhappy with things, even though things are being debated and looked at. They're going to be unhappy about it. And I really feel like this is going to be violence. This is going to be sadness for our country to see this again. We already had this the one time with the assassination attempt on one of the candidates. I think this is going to be something that also brings us grief. I don't know if anybody's actually going to be killed in that, but I do think that it's going to be really rough for our country. Now, with the Seven of Cups coming up after that, this talks about regaining the focus, regaining the balance. This kind of talks about getting everything kind of gathered and unchaotic, calming things down in the country. With the Three of Wands, this allows the new Democratic president, who's not going to be Kamala, to make some long-term plans for where we're headed as a country in the future. And they get to work. My Eight of Coins talks about getting to work, doing the work, getting the job done type of thing. So I don't think Kamala is going to win, actually, which surprises me the way things are going with the polls and everything. But I do think somebody from the Democratic Party is going to win. And I think we're going to have a lot of trouble. It's going to be violent before it gets better. And they can actually focus on the regular work of this country. I know I'm praying for this country every single day. I'm worried about it. I am worried about it. So funny. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about the other side. Some of the things that showed up there. I think we've got enough to chew on right there. What else should we look at? While we're here. I'm really out of touch with what's going on out in the world because I don't watch the news mostly. I know quite a bit about Ukraine, and I've been watching this politics of our country, and that's about it. When are you hitting the jackpot? As in, when are you winning the lottery? What's it? Let's define a jackpot. I actually found the end of a rainbow one time. I always heard at the end of a rainbow is a pot of gold. There was no pot of gold. The rainbow ended in the middle of a cow pasture on the side of a mountain. If there was anything at the bottom of that rainbow, it was probably a cow plop. Will Gracie be able to start a nonprofit for homeless elderly women? Will Gracie be able to start a nonprofit for homeless elderly women? Well, I can see here that you would like to, and it may be that you have some people personally that you know that would fall into this boat that would benefit from something like that even. But it also seems like you don't really have the energy that it would take to start a nonprofit right now. And the other situation that we have is it's incredibly difficult to find people who would collaborate with you or take you seriously even. And a lot of that has to do with the whole timing of things. Like this as a timing factor is probably not the best timing. Now, you have free will. And for some people, just knowing what cards are stacked against them just makes them go, hoo-yah, there, I'm going to work on that. I don't know if you're that person, but there may be a way that you can contribute to something that's already going that might be a lot more doable for you. Right? Health is such a big thing that we take for granted, but it's so important because our bodies are really the key to us being able to express what our spirit would like to express in this world. I just actually had a discussion with somebody about that the other day. She was over by Chatfield, which we've had a big fire over by Chatfield, and she was breathing in a lot of that air and a lot of that smoke, and she wasn't feeling too good. So she and I were talking about how important it is to take care of our bodies. A lot of people who are spiritual try to take the body for granted and not think about taking care of the body. Let's do all the wonderful spiritual stuff. But the body is so important. If you don't have anything to express your spirit with, then it doesn't matter what kind of spiritual stuff you've done. Savannah, I didn't even know you were still in the room. Glad you are. Fire is kind of insidious. It's really more the smoke than the flames for most people, because it messes with your inhalation system. What do you call that? It messes with your oxygen in your whole body. I didn't hear any live reports about the fire this morning, but I know when I listened yesterday, they were saying that they were talking about the smallest fire we have in the state, and they were saying that it probably won't be out until after the weekend's over. So I imagine it's still going. I think it's 20 or 30 miles from where I am right now. But we've been getting a lot of dust and ash in the wind, in the air. Let's see, what else should we look at? Did we ever define a jackpot for you, Greasy? Gracie, you might consider yourself hitting the jackpot at Christmas time. I just had to ask that because I started humming a Christmas song right after I asked if we had defined a jackpot. Well, we're heating up. We're heating up. Froggy, Froggy. Hey, girlie. Glad to see you here. If you're not subscribed to my new channel, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. This is where I am more often than the old one. Would you like me to read for you tonight, Miss Froggy? I was just thinking that as you were typing it, probably. I was like, it's got to be late where you are. I said earlier, too, like, I hope maybe my voice will put some people to sleep. Okay, honey bunny, do you have a question for me tonight, Froggy? Or do you want a message from Spirit? Yeah, Froggy's been around a long time, too, Gracie. I think Froggy's met me before you even met me. Or I met Froggy before I met you even. Yeah, you can ask what Brian's intentions are. Absolutely. Is he the guy that you were telling me about that works in the same building as you but doesn't do the same job? I figured that's what you meant. We definitely have some catching up to do, girlie. I want to know all the gossip. Let me look at what his intentions are. What are Brian's intentions towards Kathy, please? Brian's intentions towards Kathy. Oh, you don't work together anymore? Oh, this could be good. Listen to me. I'm like a 16-year-old. I get all excited about this stuff. What are Brian's intentions towards Kathy? Do you have a job somewhere else now? You went back to your old job? That wild-ass boss lady got to you, didn't she? Brian's intentions. Ha! One of these cards popped, and I just picked it up and put it back, and I thought if it comes back out, I'll know. Dude, we looked at that in a reading, remember? I think I was telling you, like, look for another job. If I remember right. Funny, I don't normally remember readings, but I can remember little bits of that one. Okay, so Brian's intentions. She sounded like a real piece of work. Here's the thing. Okay, we've got my very first card out is the Three of Coins coming up. Three of Coins talks about collaborating, making plans, following through on those plans, that type of thing. It's a real light collaboration card is a light type of card as far as relationships go. Like if I was going to see you guys going exclusive, I would want to see like the Ten of Wands or something like that. when we're picking up some kind of responsibility. Maybe you guys were already exclusive. I don't know. With this Three of Coins, though, this just talks about, dating, doing things, hanging out, making plans. Maybe you go fishing together, whatever, go to movies together, have dinner together. This is collaboration, and collaborations can be one-off type things. So this is not like, okay, I'm committing, I'm going to see you every weekend type of thing. You're my girlfriend, so you're the person that I do my social stuff with. It's not like that. It's a little lighter. It's doing social stuff together. It's enjoying it, but there's not really any strings attached. Okay, so that's the first thing when I look at intentions. Now, I put down 3 cards. My next card talks about the Pope, basically, or the Hierophant in reverse. Hierophant in reverse says, man, I'm not getting married. Not intending to get married. And sometimes this is not intending to get married, literally. Sometimes this is not intending to move in together, not intending to even be considered common law married. So he's not really got a lot of plans to get married. He kind of comes across to me, just as I'm going through this reading, as like I'm single. I'm kind of set in my ways. I've been single for a long time. I don't really know if I want to give up my freedom. But I really like Kathy. I want to do some things with her. I just don't know if it would be a good idea to make any kind of commitments and have any expectations and have her have any expectations of me, that type of thing. All right. Now, last card, Hanged Man. Hanged Man talks about, I'm taking my time. I'm thinking this over. And this is really looking at any ideas about this from every single angle possible. I mean, this is exactly how you would expect a judge to act. They would want to look at every single angle possible and think about this before they ever take action. So here's the thing. Right now, the collaborations are going on. That's what he intends to keep, is just the collaborations. It's a way to get to know you. It's a way to really have a chance to think about things and figure out from every single angle what way he wants to go. He can already tell you that just in general, he doesn't want to get married. He's really still figuring out what he does want this to be with you. Okay? So he's still figuring it out, with the caveat that he doesn't want to get married. And the reason that he's collaborating with you and doing these one-off type things is to help him have more insights to be able to figure this out. He's not sure what he wants. At least from you. Except he knows he doesn't want to be married. And I think that would apply to anyone. Anybody else in the room that needs a reading? Speak now or forever hold your peace, because my soda's almost empty. It's getting to be time for me to go. That's just me doing my job. How long have you been at the new old place, or at the old new place? You're quite welcome. So going on 2 months, not quite. How are you feeling about being back there? Yeah, pays an adjustment. Do you ever hear from Patrick anymore, or has he pretty much exited the stage? Look at me, I'm getting all caught up in my gossip. This is late night gossip scene is what this is. Thank goodness. A lot of times adult kids don't pay rent, so that's good. And thank goodness on that too. Thank goodness on that too. All right. Anything else we should look at while I'm here? We looked at who's going to win the election already earlier in the thing. Kathy, you get my newsletter, don't you? I'm thinking you do. Who else was here? Savannah, if you want my newsletter, check out my website and sign up for it. I do predictions for every sign every week, just about. I was thinking so. All right, well, I think it's time for me to get out of here. I've been here for an hour and I'm starting to get tired. I'm glad y'all stopped by. It's nice to see some old friends and make a new friend. You'll have a fantastic evening. Aw, thank you. I appreciate that, Gracie. Everybody have a fantastic evening and a fantastic Sunday. Oh, and Froggy, let me help you fall asleep. Hang on. Let me not leave just yet. Anybody else who wants help falling asleep, do the same thing that I'm telling Froggy to do. So, Froggy, here's what I want you to do. I don't want you to change your breathing at all, but when I tell you to, I want you to take 5 normal breaths, inhales and exhales. And when you exhale the 5th one, then let me know. But let me tell you when, okay? Okay, go ahead and start counting your breathing. Let me know when you've got 5. Okay, let me do my thing. Okay, so now go lay down and try to go to sleep, but don't get sidetracked. Don't let yourself be distracted. Don't do screen time because you'll interfere with the energy work that I just did. You'll basically set it back. So literally just be like, okay, Amista just did work for me to fall asleep. I'm going to go fall asleep and just go to bed and put your head down on the pillow. Everybody have a fantastic evening and a fantastic Sunday. Peace out.